Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman, founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Paul Cardis, founder of On3, co-founder of On3, and the CEO, the man. So tell me, Paul, what does On3 do, just as an overview?
Sure. So, Paul, thank you for having me on the show, and it's a real honor. So, On3 is a digital platform to record all of your how-tos in your business in video and to create basically a video training guide for all your employees. It works very quickly, very easily, very inexpensively for trade contractors throughout the construction industry.
Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple examples here. Let's say I'm a roofer. I've got 15 roofers out there doing their thing, and they don't always do it right. You know, I try, but occasionally they get the roof on not the right place, whatever. And I got a bunch of business because I live in Florida. A lot of roofs are gone, right? So I
Yeah,
got
I
all
bet
these
they
people
are.
running around out there trying to put roofs on. And a lot of them are new people because I went from not a lot of business to more business than I could possibly do. Okay, so how is On3 going to help me with my business now that all these people running around Florida trying to put on roofs that got blown out?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, imagine you're hiring all these people. If you could give them an app, you simply have their email address, assign them a login to your app, and now you'll basically create a learning path for each one of these new employees where they can independently watch videos created by you or pulled from our library. We have both. And these videos will get into all the details of exactly what you want them to do, how you want them to do it, and it'll actually have them do a test. And not your traditional multiple choice test. We have that, but we also have them record videos of them actually doing what you just taught them. And then those videos then can get reviewed by you, can get scored by our AI as well. And in together, you were able to determine competency and onboard people in half the time. That's what most of our clients are saying. You know, they can speed their hiring process and really get going with high quality labor and performance.
Now, is there any way of telling when I hire this new guy if he's going to get it or not? I mean, because I'm
Yes.
hiring a roofer, you know, it's hard to find roofers. I'm sort of taking a warm body at this point as a roofer because I'm desperate. And how is that going to help me determine whether this guy actually knows how to put on roofing?
Well, first off, you got to hire right. I mean, there's no substitute to that. And that's where I think your service definitely is incredibly important. But if you get the right person in the chair, now it's about teaching them your specific hows and ways you do stuff. Unfortunately, people bring with them bad habits, even though they're good people. We can help undo those bad habits. We can help teach them the way you want them to execute, including safety, process, handling of materials, you name it. All these things can get covered, and then you're going to be able to see them in action because they're going to record a quick video of them either explaining the process or actually doing. And we have different examples of how you can set that up. And then you'll really be able to determine whether they have the skill set or not, whether they're confident to do the job properly or not. We call it competency, right? Do they have competency or not? And our system scores your employees. So you'll be able to read a report and see exactly what they're confident in and where they're weak, and then you can help train them on the things they need help with.
Now, do you have any roofing companies who use an example? I don't have to give the name of the company, but some roofing company, service company, doesn't matter, some service company that
Absolutely.
implemented this system and specifically how it has helped them.
It's huge, right? We're dealing with a landscaping contractor out in California, for example, that they had, unfortunately, an exodus of some people, but because they were On3, they were able to hire new people, hire better people, frankly, that they said, and get them up to speed literally in hours and days. They were back up and going, doing what they needed to do, and running the company. And this was all through On3 because they took the time to record their videos and store their stuff and build that library. It created basically a bit of a fortress, a moat around their organization that no matter who walks in the door, they're going to be able to get them up to speed quickly and efficiently.
So what kind of videos does the landscaping company do? I mean, is it this is how to mow a lawn or this is how to trim a
Sure.
hedge? Is
Well,
that, I mean,
that's just
what do they,
one example, but yes, it's everything from, how do they file their paperwork to how do they operate the truck to, I mean, I can go down the list of all these wonderful things. I don't even know half the time what they're doing, They're laying conduits for irrigation. They're doing, you know, all the details that need to be done. We have plumbers, we have electricians, we have framers, we have builders, we have pretty much, you know, a variety of folks throughout the industry that are using our platform. So roofers as well would be very welcome. We don't have any roofers today, but we'd love to
Oh
get more
boy, somebody gets
roofers.
a first time. It sounds to me like, you know,
Yeah,
especially in some of these storm areas, it's going to be huge for
right.
just rebuilding stuff. They got to hire a bunch of new people. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so how, let's say I get your system. I say, okay, I'm ready to do this. Give me the actual sort of, I'm a, you know, I'm a painting company, pick one, right? And how do I onboard? How do I teach my painters how to
Sure.
paint? Because I'm used to saying, look at, I just hire great people, let them do their thing. But that doesn't work too good because there's not that many great people and their definition of a good thing and my definition of a good thing might be different. So how does the process actually work?
Yes. So basically, it starts with what we call our construction review meeting. So we're going to, once we sign up a client, we get on the platform, we're going to interview them in terms of what type of work they're doing and what we have already in our library, because we have literally hundreds of different modules that they can choose from and apply to their organization. So they might find that, yes, this module here, this works, and we can line up the things that we already have. Then once we're done with that, then we're going to go to the next phase of it, which is what do we need to record? We're going to arm them with an app called On3 Create, which is an app that will run on their phone that basically allows them to use their phone, record various videos using their cell phone right there in the field. So the owner, managers, you can assign this to other people, say, hey, you know, Jose, go out there and please record the process of laying down, you know, the whatever it is. And they go out there, they do that process, record it for you. Then owner could review it, say you did a great job, I love it, and now it could push it on to On3. Once we get it, our AI ingests that, we transcribe it, we translate it into multiple languages, so we can translate up to 64 languages for you. And that's all done within the platform, all included. And you're going to be able to then have a video-based scope of work. So it'll be a reference doc that anybody needs it. They can talk to their On3 and say, hey, I need how to lay down the laminate. Okay. And I can, you know, talk to my On3 and it'll pull it up. Or you could assign it to employees. And now you're going to say, okay, you got to take this. I need it done by Friday. And they'll take time. And it's a micro learning module. So we like to keep it under 5 minutes of learning, but it can be jam-packed full of good stuff. And you can have multiple little 5-minute segments that you assign to your teams. They watch, they learn, they take the test, right? Or they record a video or doing the actual work that gets scored by you as owner. And now you can move on to the next topic until you finally get them leveled up to where you want them.
Now, let's say, do you edit the video or just take the raw video? I mean, how does it work? I've got, you know, Juan out there saying this is how you put in irrigation pipe and he's digging the ditch and maybe
Sure.
has this video and digging the ditch and, you know, they're trying to do that. Everybody knows how to use a phone to take pictures, relative, right? So he takes a
Right.
video of Juan digging the ditch and, or Fred or pick a name, and he digs the ditch and says, okay, here is how we dig a ditch, how deep it has to go, how we backfill it, how we lay down the conduit, and pretty much goes into how to lay this irrigation pipe thing. How does that get translated? Is it edited? How does that work when
Yes.
it gets to you?
Yeah, so when we get it, we do edit it. So human eyes are on it, our AI is on it, but it's a collaborative effort between our AI and our human editors. They will clean it up, they will remove sound, and in some cases, we'll get video that doesn't even have sound, or maybe the sound is terrible because there's a big machine running in the background and it's too noisy, or the script is real jumpy. So we can actually take that, transcribe what they meant to say, and then relay it down without any background noise with their using their own voice. So we have some incredible tools to take what can be really bad video, and we've got tons of examples of sort of our pre and post, you know, what we got versus what they got, and
Right.
it's dramatically different. And so we make something beautiful out of oftentimes you'd think would be junk. But as long
Okay.
as the information is good, as long as they're showing a process and they know their work, they do not have to be, you know, Hollywood stars. They can be as awkward and stumbling as they want because we're going to turn around, use AI and clean all that up and then lay down that track.
Okay. So now, how do the assessment or test really interests me. How do I know now, you know, Juan's do it, Fred has to do it.
Yep.
How do I know Fred's going to do it the same way that Juan did it?
Well, we're going to build the test for you. So that's also done automatically through our system where our AI is learning the module literally as a human would. And then from that, we are then building test questions using our tools. And we're going to build these assessments and including the video. And that's why we really like what we call the video-based coaching or video-based assessment, so that the actual learner, your employee, is actually showing a video of either them explaining something or actually doing it. That's going to tell you volumes. I can't tell you how important that is. The qualitative information you learn from watching your employee demonstrate tells you everything. You know right away, do they understand it? Do they have confidence in what they're doing, or are they shaky? Are they faking it? You can see all of that happening in the video, and then it's up to the owner to make a decision to say, you know what, Johnny's not ready yet. Let's make him go through a little bit more. And so then you put him through a little more training, or maybe you do some one-on-one work with him to get him where he is comfortable and he can finally express competency in here. So that's how you make sure that when you do put them out in the field, that they're going to have a high degree of success. And that's exactly what we're seeing, is that these candidates, when they come out of our platform, they are highly skilled. They are highly trained because we put them through their paces before they got out there, as opposed to the alternative, which is, we trust, we hope, and then they go out
Right.
there and we
They mess
learn.
it up and then it gets really expensive. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's sort of your own personal version of YouTube University, right? It sounds like to me.
It is, in many respects it is, but I wouldn't call it YouTube because it works offline. That's the other beautiful thing. And it's there to help them on the job. So that's the other big piece. So as they're working, and let's say, Johnny forgot, oh geez, I can't remember, what's the nail pattern on this? He could go to his On3 and literally push a button and talk to his On3 and say, how do I lay down the laminate or whatever, or what's the nail pattern? And it'll come up and show them that video segment of how it was taught, and then they can go learn it quick for a few seconds, go right back to work. So that part, very much like YouTube, will then support them in the field so that they are able to learn and do it the right way. So those first few days, they might be referencing their On3 for a bit, but they're getting it done right.
Okay, and I know having doing video interviews, video tells, pictures worth 1,000 words. I mean, when you
Right.
see some guy actually do something like he's using a nail gun or he's got the right end of a hammer or using a shovel or a pick line, whatever, he's trying to do something in construction. Construction is very visual. You can actually watch, like if the owner was out there watching, he'd know immediately whether he's doing the right thing. So it obviously saves
Exactly.
the owner literally can have eyes on everything. It sounds great. Now, what about like quality control? Let's say your guys are, I don't know, you're a bathroom or something, you're remodeling them. And after a while, your guys get a little sloppy. They're in a hurry or whatever they're doing. Can you use it for quality control? Say, look at,
Sure can.
randomly on your fifth bathroom or do it. Can you do that to make sure they're keeping up with the right way to do it?
Absolutely. We call those check-ins, right? So let's say you're found, customers complaining on certain issues, or you're hearing that there might be some issues in a particular thing. You can issue a check-in where their phones could then be assigned to light up on a Monday morning or on a Friday or whatever, and they now have to come back and actually get interviewed by our system. So the AI will have a chat with them about this various different process, and it'll determine from that quick little back and forth, and they can do it using their voice. We'll be able to give them a competency score and give you, the owner, a report that says, yeah, you had 90% competent, but 10% of the folks weren't, and here's who they were. And now you can target the training to supplement those folks.
So let's say I'm a remodeling contractor and some guys, putting in tile showers or something. Can I use it to make sure my subs are doing their job? Because unfortunately, a lot of my work is done by somebody else. And
Exactly.
sometimes when I find out, it's a little late. So
Right.
anybody who has any subcontractors using this stuff?
We do. So what happens is that we're arming your managers and project superintendents to now be able to educate the trades right there in the field. So if they see something's not going right, they can pull up what's called a field guide or a scope, and then they can show it to them. They can show it to them in multiple languages right there and teach them in the field so that they see this is the way we want it done. We want the corners done this way and whatever. And all that stuff, all those details then get conveyed in video. And so this is how we're starting to impact the trades. For some of our clients, they're actually assigning trades they're very close with are actually on the platform with the seat and have to prove competency before they'll be able to work with them.
To me, that'd be a big deal because a lot of, if you're trying a new framer or a new plumber or whatever, you sort of have to take their word for it sometimes. And
Right.
then even though the guy who owns the company might be good, maybe his workers aren't quite the same quality. And I know, mistakes can be very expensive in construction. And it sounds like you have a system which is going to be preventative versus, like after the cat got out. Oh, right. So it prevents mistakes versus fixing things after they're broken. Is that accurate?
It is. I mean, think of it like a sports team. If everybody just sort of hired players and said, okay, go out there and go win, it's not going to go very good, right? They have to practice. They have to learn the plays. They have to become organized. So what we're doing is we're bringing that kind of discipline now to the construction area. Frontline workers generally don't have very good training. And so through On3, you can create this very inexpensively, doing it with video, doing it in multiple languages, and really get your teams very well organized and be able to measure that, okay, my trades and my people are very competent in what they do. And I know that for fact. And if I have a new person, I have a process to put them through to onboard them and get them at that level.
Okay. So this works for, like trade contractors, service, or service industries,
Hmm.
remodelers, new home builders, anybody who has somebody out in the field who's supposed to accomplish something using their hands or machines or something in some way, you can help out, right?
Exactly. We like to say if they're working on their feet or working out of a truck, then they're our target, and we have a platform for them. And again, because On3 works offline, this enables people wherever they are, they have access, and they don't have to worry about cellular connection or internet service. As long as they've installed the app, downloaded libraries, they're good to go, and they can be anywhere and access the information.
Okay. Now, what does it cost? Because I know contractors are pretty frugal. So let's
Sure.
say I'm a remodeling contractor. It sounds like a good idea. I've got,
Hmm.
5 employees, 6 employees, a bunch of subcontractors. How much is it going to cost me to engage in this process?
So our starting package for trade contractors is at $150 per month, and that enables you to get your seat count so you can record up to 10 modules per month, all included for the $150, no additional charge, and we'll build 10 a month for you. And you'll be able to assign 3 seats out to your various team members so that you can keep, and they're floating seats. So basically you can say it's like having a 3-person classroom. And for contractors that are bigger, then they can expand to 5-pack, 10-pack, and go on and on to
Right.
hundreds of employees. But essentially, the 3 package at $150, which gets you 10 modules a month. So it's a great deal. This is a small investment, and the return for the clients that are on it is absolutely huge because we're
Oh, it's
saving them.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
So
on the
now,
callbacks. Yeah.
with all software, the biggest problem I've had my entire career in this industry is getting contractors to adapt to and actually adopt it. So how do you, I mean, buying the membership to the gym is easy, getting people to go is a little harder, right?
Yep.
So I can say now I've spent my $150 or whatever I'm going to spend. How do I implement it? How do you help people do that?
Yeah, so we have a client success team that's there. So when clients start up, we're providing people to support you as well. It's not just a, server in a closet that you plug into and you're expected to do all the work. We're there. We're assigning team members to check in with you, to help you. We have also a film team mobile team in different parts of the country that can come on the ground and actually record videos for you if you don't want to do this or you're feeling uncomfortable with it. And while they're there, they'll actually train you on how to pick up the ball and now do it yourself. So we have some wonderful implementation packages that will obviously won't be included for the 150 per month. There'll be additional charge for those, but they're available for you. But our client success team is included with our monthly fee. So you'll have a team member and group that's always available and on call nearly 24 hours, be able to help you with, signing users, or if you're having any issues figuring something out, we're there to support you.
So this is a best worst question. As you applied this, obviously it makes total sense. What has been your best successes and what has been your biggest challenges?
Well, we have a number of great successes. We're working with some of the largest construction companies now in the country. We haven't been around for very long, so to achieve that level of success with some of these very large companies has been quite an honor. And we're getting all these reports back of massive efficiency savings. You know, they're chopping out, you know, weeks off the construction build cycle. They're reducing warranty and failures and failed inspections. All those types of things are moving in the right direction. Customers are happier because the team's just operating better. So there's so many wonderful stories that we're getting and testimonials that we're delighted with that. The biggest challenge is change. You know, this industry doesn't like to change. They're not used to going out there and recording things in video. And so kind of, you know, getting that to be a habit is still a struggle at times, you know, to remind folks that, well, if it's not right, get your phone out and record it, because now you can train with it, you know, and getting people to realize these mistakes are learning opportunities. But more and more, once they do it, they are getting that. And those companies are starting to really leap ahead and utilize our technology to help them become an incredible company.
So I have a question. This is a little weird, but I guess anyway. Do I have to get a signed release from somebody if I'm going to video them doing something, or do I have to do that?
Yeah, we have release forms that you can do to button that up. So you can also build that into your employee documents. So if you don't have that already in your employment documents that you sign with your people, then we'll give you a supplement that you can use so that you will have coverage. But yes, you do need to have their approval to make these videos. And but again, simple one pager, and you just keep
You've
that in
got all that
the
worked
file.
out. So they just
Yeah,
sign it and they're good. Okay,
sign it
cool.
and they're good to go. Yeah, and you can have approval. If you're working with some of your trade contractors, I have many clients that put the trade contractors, while they're doing the work, they'll do some videos on their cell phone of them actually doing and showing things. Again, just have them sign that one pager. And most of them, in fact, I've not had anybody refuse, because at this point, everybody wants to make the industry better, and they're getting
Right.
paid by you. So you might as well get the maximum as a contractor, as a trade, as a professional. You want to build your business, and hopefully your subs will support you in that endeavor.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
this is two technologies coming together. One is artificial intelligence, and one is everybody's got a camera in their pocket, right?
That's
And that
right.
didn't exist 10 years ago. Everybody knows how to take videos on their phone, and that didn't exist. So to me, this is a huge shift, because you couldn't have done this 10 years ago, right?
You really couldn't do it easily like we can today, or affordably. You know, the cost
Right.
to do filming was, you know, many thousands. So this is a
Right. If
big
you want to do a
advance.
video, it can get cost you 10 grand to do a video, not, you know, somebody go, it's a lot less expensive. So it's good. Two great technologies coming together. So, Paul, if people want to get a hold of you and they think it's a good idea, how do they do that?
They can reach us on our website at www.on3.ai. That's on3.ai. And if you'd like to email me, you can always do that. Email me direct at paul@on3.ai, and I'll happy to connect you with one of our sales team members who can help you.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Paul. I appreciate being here. This is a great, you know, I think you have an awesome product. Now our challenge is to get people to use something that actually is going to work and save them time and money, right?
Right, exactly. But
Thanks. I
it's
appreciate
happening.
it.
We're
I know
spreading
it's
across the
good. I
country.
appreciate you
So
being here. Thank you,
thank you
sir.
so much, Paul.